This is the scene from downtown Missoula today. Over 1,000 protesters gathered as part of a nationwide movement dubbed Hands Off in opposition to President Donald Trump and billionaire Elon Musk. Protesters are calling for the pair to keep their hands off federal services, which are getting slashed as part of DOGE's effort to shrink the size of the federal government. I caught up with one of the protesters who told me he doesn't agree with Trump's new tariffs.
The tariffs are a very big mistake. I think the damage has in large measure already been done. There is a loss of confidence among investors, and there's a loss of confidence in the country in general.
Axelrod says he hasn't been to a protest since 1968, but thinks what's going on is bad news for all parties. Meanwhile, Debbie Fisher says she was never politically active until today, but told me she's concerned about her rights.
Being older, of course, I'm worried about Social Security, but I'm also worried about human rights. And Medicare.
After remarks, protesters took to the street and marched across the Bear Tracks Bridge. But Missoula wasn't the only city protesting today. More than 1,000 hands-off events were organized nationwide, including in Hamilton, with several hundred protesters showing up on the streets. Signs said hands off to tariffs, cuts to health care, threats to Social Security, federal firings, and a slew of other issues. Hands-off supporters demonstrated on First Street on the sidewalk in front of Saturday morning traffic. They marched through Hamilton for several blocks, eventually ending up at the River Street Dance Theater. Speakers issued a serious call to action to fight what many say is a threat to democracy. People came in support of farms, science, and veterans.
Now we're expecting another 83,000 job losses in the VA alone, and that will include probably about 20,000 veterans, or 24% of that number. That can result in having to send veterans to outside sources for care, which is going to increase cost, potentially lower quality, and are going to make it inaccessible for some of these folks.
Every voice matters. We're in Germany 1934. Yeah. That's where we are. And the momentum that is being gained is real. And every one of us has to speak out and speak up and show up and have the courage, and know that courage is contagious.
Representatives of the hands-off movement in the Bitterroot say they will be focusing a lot on local issues to bring the community together to make change.